Okay, I was not expecting Aftershoot's new retouching software to be this freaking good. Right now, there are a whole bunch of retouching software options to choose from, and I've used most of them. You know, we have the ones that are more dedicated, specialized portrait retouching like Evoto, and then we have some that are specialized in culling, bulk editing, right, to save you hours of editing time. What if I told you that you can now have your cake and eat it too? This is exactly why Aftershoot reached out and asked me to showcase their new portrait retouching software. Look, they're even allowing me to compare the results from this software to the ones, you know, that I would get in Apprety and Evoto, so they're obviously confident in their product. Now, if you've never heard of Aftershoot, their bread and butter is AI culling and editing, right? Culling as in you can use the AI to detect blinks, out of focus photos, so it's gonna save you time sorting through the hundreds or even thousands of images. And then you can also edit the images in the program where you can bake in one of your favorite Lightroom presets and you can train the AI to edit the way you edit. But the problem that a lot of people have, like portrait photographers like myself, is that when I'm working with faces, a lot of the times the preset is not enough. I wanna actually modify, you know, I wanna improve. Okay, I'm trying to be politically correct here, but you know, I wanna retouch the skin a little bit and make people look better. And so now that's what they're offering here. So after retouching one single photo, you can essentially just copy and paste those settings onto the rest of the images, thus saving you a bunch of time and money because you essentially wouldn't need any other software. You can do everything all inside one app: culling, editing, and now retouching. Aftershoot uses a flat pricing model, so you can use it as much as you want, and the retouching happens locally, so no internet connection is required to use it. The first photo we're gonna edit is of a client. We did a little rebranding shoot. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is select the subject selection. I'm gonna select feminine. Now, one of the best features in this software is blemish removal. For most edits, blemish removal is gonna be enough to clean up the skin, and because you still want the person to look human and look natural. Blemish removal in this software is very good. Look at how it maintains the integrity of the color of the skin on the cheek, on the nose. So for wrinkles, she doesn't have any wrinkles on her forehead. Smile lines, I don't, in any app, I never use smile lines like this. Look what it does. You don't want that. Smile lines is the defining feature of someone's face. Even though I don't really like my smile lines, it is what it is. If you ever use smile lines, I would say just a little bit if you want to like soften up the shadows, but I never really touch those sliders. Teeth, you got brighten and whiten. Her teeth are already freaking white. Does not need any of this. For the face, we have brighten, smoothen, and remove shine. For this, I'm gonna smoothen. I can just smoothen maybe a little bit, even though again, she doesn't really need it that much. Similar to the dodge and burn skin retouch in Evoto, you can smoothen the skin while preserving the natural texture. Remove shine. I mean, she doesn't really have any shine. Show how it works. Yeah, doesn't need that. Now for the eye retouch, you can remove the glare from someone's glasses, the eye brighten, all right, okay. And the eye bags. You never wanna go too far with the eye bags or retouching that because then it doesn't look human. Got the eyes brightened up, that looks good. One thing I wish that they were included in this software is some red vein removal, all right? We got flyaways. This is a big one, man. Editing flyaways is a pain, but she doesn't have any flyaways here. Now here's another important feature is body editing, right? Because a lot of people, human beings, have bumps on their arm and have acne, and so we have body blemish. Let's hit that up because you know she got some bumps on the arm. Okay, so we remove some of the bumps, but we still have, you know, some bumps there. So let's hit smoothen. Okay, so smoothen at maybe 80%. So it's at 83. That does a pretty good job of kind of fixing up the arm there. And I think we have a pretty solid photo here. All right, so here is the before and after. It's a very subtle but natural looking edit. You know, she doesn't look like a Barbie. She still looks like a human. This is the kind of result that I want when I'm doing client work. Okay, so I have some other examples of client work, but how does it perform with more of a fashion edit? You know, where you're not necessarily going for the most natural look possible. Well, I have this photo of Devin here, okay? Now, this is a good test of blemish removal. Let's see what we got. Let's max out blemish removal. Look at the amount of blemishes it's removing. And look how smooth the tones are on the skin. That's a very important part of blemish removal, which is why I feel like most of the time you can just use blemish removal and it will do a great job of editing someone's skin. But here, you know, we're going for more of a fashion edit, so we don't mind going a little bit above and beyond. Wrinkles, she doesn't have any forehead wrinkles, so that's not gonna do anything. Smile lines, she don't even have smile lines. Teeth, let's just, you know, wind it up a little bit. Not that they're not, but let's just see the effect and how it does. Yeah, okay, looks good. Face, I mean, let's just try it just so I can show you what it looks like. Face brighten. I don't really use that too much when I'm my portrait work. You know, I kind of get it right in camera. Yeah, now I'm saying. Okay. So, all right, now let's smoothen the skin. Let's go halfway. Let's go to 50. See, the thing is when you're trying to smoothen someone's skin, you just want to make sure that the lines on the face don't have any kind of blur on them, right? So you want the edges of the nose and the lips, you want that to not have any kind of blur on there. So it all depends on how good the masking is. Look at around the lips. You're not getting any of that blur spillage. In the eyes, you're not seeing any of that. On the nose, right here is my only complaint here, is right here on the ridge of the nose. It kind of just all blends together. But let's go for a low opacity, and we can remove some of the masking on the nose. If you feel, you know, I felt like it was a little too much here. Save mask. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Remove shine, we don't need that. I actually want the shine on her cheek there. I want those highlights there. The eyes, we definitely could use some eye brighten. Let's bump that up. Eye bags, we don't need that. She doesn't have any bags. Lucky her. Okay, now even though she doesn't have a lot of flyaways here, I'm gonna use it anyways because I have not shown you how it works. This is about 56. Let me max it out. It looks good. It looks almost like just the hair's blurred out because I'm shooting at a wide aperture. But I'm gonna just go halfway with it because it's not really necessary anyways. Now for the body blemish, I'm gonna max that out. It's gonna remove, okay, so remove some of the acne there on the body. I'm gonna smoothen it. Now one feature that would be nice to have is being able to match the tone of the body skin to the face. So here her skin is a little bit more on the orangey side, her body skin is more on the orangey side, where her face is a little bit more white, I'm sure because of the makeup. So it'd be nice to have that option in the future. And oh, okay, well, you can see the beauty dish here at the top in the frame. So this software also has a pretty good object removal feature here. So I just highlight this, hit remove object. Now, even though object removal works really well, I'm assuming that in the background enhancement, the tools that are coming soon for the background, you're gonna be able to just remove that object with a click of a button. But that's just me assuming. This is the final edit. You be the judge. I'm gonna show you another example. This one was shot outdoors using off-camera flash, creative portrait. Let's max out blemish removal. Let's zoom in here and let's see what it's got, what's cooking here. See, again, back to the colors. Look at the tonal transition. Look at the tonal range there. It's removing those blemishes, but it's also the colors are not like, there's no blotchiness to the skin. Does it really clean? I mean, I'm good right here, but no, let's do a little bit more. No smile lines or forehead lines on her. God bless her. Teeth, barely show the teeth. My models don't smile. You know, maybe I'm just not fun to work with. All right, we go smoothing. Let's smoothen the skin a little bit. Let's see what it does here. Solid, right? The lips are untouched. You got the little shadow on the nose is filled. I mean, I could always remove that, but I don't think it looks bad here. I don't need to go crazy with the smoothing on this shot, especially because it's a kind of a far away portrait. As long as the tones are even on the skin, that's great. The eyes, let's brighten up the eyes. Eye bags, I think it looks fine just like that. The flyaways, and she doesn't really have flyaways here. She has perfect hair, but look on top of the hair, how it blurs out all those strays. You can go crazy with it. And from far, it looks really, really solid. I prefer to have a little bit extra there on the top. Body smoothing, she doesn't really have anything. Her shoulders or arms are not showing. All right, let me show you an edit of a man this time, because I rarely ever shoot men, but this was some client work that I did a while ago. Let's switch over to masculine. Let's take that blue box off. Let's max out blemish removal and see what happens here. So I got rid of some blemishes. It left some of the, you know, like the scar right here on the forehead. I kind of like that because, you know, there's some defining features on our face, and this isn't a fashion portrait, you know, per se. So I'm pretty good with that. I think that's a decent cleanup of the face. Let's see what happens if I put forehead wrinkles. Will it remove that? No, it's only removing forehead wrinkles. He doesn't really have any. Smile lines, we're not gonna want to do that on a male portrait here. Should we smoothen up the face a little bit? We could. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. The eyes, let's brighten them up. Eye bags, nah, we don't want to do eye bags on that. Leave it the way it is. So you could just bump it up and just soften them up a little bit, but that looks the most natural. Hair, you definitely got no flyaways and no body. So there you go. That's a quick edit on a male. Now this is a portrait that I took of a gentleman. He works in construction. I was just taking a couple headshots for them on location. All right, so we got a masculine person there. Let's max out the blemish removal in the spots, clean them up a little bit. Wrinkles, I mean, my man doesn't even have any forehead wrinkles. I mean, I hope to look like that when I'm his age. Smile lines, again, we're not gonna touch the smile lines. He's not showing teeth. A lot of guys don't want to show teeth when you're taking pictures of them. I'm sure you already know that. Smoothing, we're not gonna want to smoothen this guy's skin. He already has really good skin. The eyes, let's brighten up those eyes a little bit. Bags, just a little bit maybe. That, definitely no flyaways. And that's a quick male touch up when you want to make it look as natural as possible. Now here's another client portrait that I took for this this construction agency. She is the owner, so let's go to feminine, take out that box. All right, we're gonna max out blemish. Movo does it really quick, so remove some of the blemishes there, a little bit on her nose there, and filled in. And yeah, I mean that's exactly what I would want. Nice and clean, no forehead wrinkles. Man, everyone got good skin. Smile lines, now her smile lines are defining. That's a part of her face that I wouldn't want to remove anyway. Whiten the teeth, you could brighten the face here because she was in shadow. I didn't have my flash that day. Smoothen the skin a little bit. Let's see. That's too much. Let's go lower. She doesn't need that much. Like I said, blemish removal does most of the job there. That's a quick edit on a client portrait where you want the look to look natural. Now, I would say that this software definitely exceeded my expectations, especially with how well blemish removal and skin smoothing works, right? By far, the most time-consuming part of a portrait edit was always the skin retouch. And that's why in the beginning, I was a bit skeptical. When I got the email from Aftershoot, they got a retouching software. I'm like, yo, you have some good competition out there, some solid competition, and they've had years and years and years to tune and fine-tune their software. This is their first shot at it. Hey, the results speak for themselves. Now, for me, some of the standout features have to be, you know, I appreciate how the sliders are dialed down, right? So you don't easily end up with fake-looking Barbie skin. Sure, I would like some more options there, but at the same time, for me, the core of everything is that if you're still able to retain the texture of the skin while smoothing it, this software just wouldn't be successful without being able to do that, and they do a hell of a job with that. I like how all the edits happen locally without the need of an internet connection. And I say this because Evoto, you do need an internet connection. And when I'm places where it has bad Wi-Fi or no Wi-Fi at all, I can't edit my images. And I would say the pricing model, I mean, come on. Nowadays, everyone's just trying to hit you with some kind of fee or subscription or they have a subscription model, but you get everything. You get access to everything and unlimited usage of everything. So you can co-edit and retouch your images, and you can do it unlimited amount of times for a flat rate. So if you're interested in checking out Aftershoot retouching for yourself, you can do so with their 30-day free trial. And if you love it, you can use the code Manny Ortiz for 15% off. Enjoy. Talk to you soon.